Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is D back again with another video, and just I want to reiterate, when this yellow box pops up, that's just me trying to get my focus right or whatever. I still haven't figured out yet how to not have that yellow focus box pop up on the actual display. So from time to time you might see that pop up. So I just want to let you know that's what that is. But anyway, so this video, I'm going to be talking about the Will Smith thing, but I want to focus specifically on the aftermath of that situation and choices that I think he should make going forward as it regards to movie roles and projects and things like that. This video is not going to be about the slap and, you know, litigating that whole situation. If you're one of those people who you're not going to watch anything Will Smith does going forward, you're not going to, you know, pay any attention to anything he does going forward, then obviously this isn't going to be the video for you. And obviously I'm not one of those people, because otherwise I wouldn't be making this video. But this video is not about the slap. I think that's been talked to death. I don't have any well, you know, there's things that I could say about it. I do obviously have an opinion about it and whatnot, but it's not, I just don't want to get into that for this video. I think this is for me personally, this is the more interesting route to go. So what I think has opened up to Will Smith now, obviously, this is the article I already had opened up. This is talking about, it says, Will Smith, can his career recover after the Oscar slap? I believe it can. Now, can it get back to where it was? No, because I think where it was, that career existed in a world that's about to no longer exist, essentially. People have been talking long before this incident with Will Smith. People have been talking about the idea. Let me check my visuals here. Yeah, people have been talking about the idea of, like, you know, Hollywood is dying. The traditional old school movie star concept is, you know, about to be extinct. And to me, it's kind of similar to how people talk about a lot about mainstream media is now moving to the wayside. People don't give it as much attention. They don't take it as seriously. It's not the guiding light for people when it comes to news intake and media and whatnot. And Hollywood, traditional Hollywood, has seemed to start going in that same direction as mainstream media. I guess it kind of started a long time ago, actually. So that world that Will Smith hit, that persona occupy, that world is on the verge of going extinct anyways. So that squeaky clean, that squeaky clean, happy-go-lucky, safe for everybody, liked by everybody, no controversy, no dirt, that whole image it's almost, to me, it's not even necessary. One of the only people that's really clinging to that image currently and maintaining his success and status. In my opinion, I don't wish anything bad upon the guy, but in my opinion, he's on the clock too for something eventually, whether it's real or fabricated, something eventually happening that has people like saying, oh, okay, we don't like this guy anymore. I'm talking about The Rock. He's one of the guys left that's really clung to and maintained and hasn't really slipped his grip on it. He's clung to that clean, safe, happy, palatable for everybody image, and that's The Rock. And I think he's on the clock too. For there's been a few moments where you could see people kind of looking at him sideways as well, whether it was warranted or not. But just, you know, so my point being is that whole squeaky clean image is like, people don't really like it as much anyways, or at the point, or if, to a certain degree, they don't want you to have it for very long. And Will Smith had it for 33 years. I mean, the thing about it is, even when he was in hip hop, that was his thing, that he was, you know, pretty clean image, safe image. So 33 years of that, I think his heel turn is actually long overdue. And I'm using as, obviously that's a wrestling term, a heel turn. That's a wrestling term. uh, there's some folks that are gonna say, "Oh, this slap that just happened, very serious situation. How can you kind of make light of it?" I'm not really trying to make light of it. I just think, look, I think everybody's gonna come out of this situation okay. I don't, unless, and I haven't heard anything about this, unless Chris Rock has a concussion or has some sort of serious physical effect from that slap. And other than Will Smith possibly losing some money, most likely losing some money, probably losing a lot of money, and most likely not losing his freedom. But of course, when the law is involved, you always got to have that out there. But besides that, I don't think anybody's going to take any real, losses out of this situation. Obviously, other than the kind of the damage to Will Smith's reputation, but I think that damage to his reputation is going to be good for him in the long term if he can accept the heel turn. And that's what I think he should do here. This is another article. It says why Will Smith has never played a true villain. I'm not going to really go through the whole article. It just really kind of talks about what we've all kind of been aware of, is that Will Smith notably has never really played a true villain in a film. At the most, he's walked the line a little bit. He's walked the edge where he's played characters that were maybe kind of anti-hero-ish, if you want to talk about Deadshot from Suicide Squad. But even the way that whole movie is set up, you don't look at Deadshot as a bad guy, really, at all. Even though there's a part where he's doing battle with Batman and all these type of things, you still never really looked at Deadshot as a bad guy, as a real villain. So that doesn't really even count as anything. The whole I Am Legend thing, there was an opportunity where that could have turned out to depending on where they took the story, they could have turned that into him being more of a negative character. But in the end, they made him more of a heroic, sympathetic character. So he's just never really went the villain route. And I think that's been a mistake for him. But now is probably the best, most clutch opportunity for him to take advantage of the fact that he hasn't really did that before. Because if people are in this state where they're not going to really, I don't know if my focus is right here or not, hopefully. But anyways, if people are in this state where they're not really going to want to root for him, because the thing is that those are the type of characters that he's been playing, characters that it's very easy to root for his characters. He's very likable in his roles, all those type of things. And if people are at this place where they don't like him and they don't want to see his face on screen and have to root for him or be expected to root for him, that would be the easiest way for him to kind of push more films out there and be accepted, is him playing and at the same time stretch his wings and play roles that he hasn't played before. He'd be able to kind of kill two birds with two stones, have a role that will be a little bit more palatable to the masses because of how a lot of them feel about him, but also will challenge him and present him in a way that he's never presented himself before, thus giving everybody something fresh and new that they've never experienced before. So I think he should go that route and play more dark, evil roles. He should play some, be in a, try a role in a horror movie. Doesn't necessarily mean he has to be the actual killer in the film or something like that, but try some more darker material. I think he should do that. So that's really the only idea I wanted to get across in this video, is just I actually think he should play more villain roles, more darker roles, go the more evil route, play a character that we absolutely hate and that does horrible things, because now more than ever he's open to that, or that opportunity is available to him for him to take and it not really cost him anything, because he's already carried out, this is very much an exaggeration, all things considered. Life is much bigger than what happened at that Oscar stage, but he already has kind of made his heel turn. He's already went to the dark side in a way without, and I mean this, to the masses, not really to everybody. I don't view Will Smith necessarily as this monster. I view him as an imperfect man that made a mistake. There's a pedestal that maybe some people had him on that they should have never put a man on in the first place, or I should say a human being on in the first place. So I try my best not to get on high horses with certain situations because high horses are very slippery. Everybody that I've seen get on a high horse, they all end up sliding right off that motherfucker. So I try not to get on high horses because they're slippery. Even if you have a saddle for it, it's slippery and you're gonna fall off of it. So I don't get on high horses. Wrong is wrong, right is right. We all acknowledge that, but this is about what he can try to do creatively going forward. This is a topic where mentally I feel like I'm not really done with it as far as working it out in my head in terms of just this whole character arc, if you will. It's an insane situation, but I don't think it's not only is what happened insane, but the aftermath of it is insane. And yeah, I guess there's more that could be said, but I really don't want to tread too far into the weeds with some of this stuff. That might be something for another day. But so I'm gonna close this video out here. I just really think Will Smith should dive deep into the dark villainous roles. Don't just have that be all you do, but experiment with that a lot more. That's really what was missing from his career, is him going after some of the more darker material and playing darker, more villainous characters. This is the greatest opportunity. Now, I know he had a lot of stuff that was already planned. The whole Bad Boys 4 thing, obviously he's probably not going to be a villain in that. And then he had I forget the name. I think it was called Emancipation. I forget the name of the movie, but he had a film coming up, or that supposedly was in the works, where he was going to be playing a slave character, which is interesting because he, of course, infamously turned down the Django Unchained role. So he obviously had stuff in the works, and I don't think any of the things he had in the works was he playing a villain in those. So, I'm not really sure what the deal is with those projects. I know some are on pause. I don't know if any of them are totally canceled or what, but going forward, I do think play some villains, Will. Play some bad guys, because a lot of folks, think of you like that now anyway, so you might as well embrace the heel turn. Everybody, there's a very noticeable famous entertainers and athletes that have embraced the heel turn and kept their level of excellence, or at least continued a certain level of excellence in their career. It's easier to do in sports because boos are kind of the same as cheers to a certain degree. Hate is very much related to love. It takes just about the same amount of energy to enthusiastically give out both. So, in sports, it's kind of easier to take advantage of a heel turn in sports than maybe it is in film. But we've seen many do it. A lot of people have been the bad guy in Hollywood and were able to resurface, or were able to come back, or, low-key never really went away in the first place. And with the idea that Hollywood is dying anyways, Hollywood isn't necessarily going to be the gatekeepers to what people like in terms of entertainment. And when you have that in mind, it opens up a world of opportunities for you, especially if you're open to being a villain. The issue is with Will Smith, and I want to say this and then I'll close this out. I promise I'll close it out. The issue with Will Smith is that he has an affinity for being a popular, liked guy, a popular, liked star. There's something, he said it many times in other interviews, he likes being that kind of popular, big time star. So I think adjusting, it's going to be him holding himself back if he doesn't take advantage of this quote unquote opportunity. It's going to be because of him and him not holding himself back. And you could argue this whole situation that he's in anyways, it's because of him. Even if you want to take it back to the deeper things this is about beyond the actual slap. Like I said, I don't think that slap was actually about Chris Rock. And I don't necessarily think that slap was actually about Chris Rock's joke. I think it was a culmination of things. I know there is tension with Chris Rock due to past things, but something about how that all went down, the emotion, just how everything went down. That looked like a man who has had a lot of things bottled up, and it came out at the craziest time. So that's it, you guys, on that video. Sorry for it being so long-winded. I might try to edit some things down. I for sure will try to edit some things down, but that's it. As always, more videos to come. Until the next time, I will catch you on the next go round.